finally, we've got Taxi done. Well, phase one at least. And even still, there's a couple little things left that haven't done, waiting on a part, actually a couple parts. But I thought I'd go ahead and give you an update because it's been, it's been a couple weeks or so since that last video I did. And if you've been following along just with the whole progress of all this, you know there's been a number of things that I've done to try to get this game all back together and standing tall. But why I'm calling this phase one and why I'm really kind of calling it complete for phase one is I focused on the play field, getting the game to function properly, get everything working back. And the only little things that are lacking really right now, you'll kind of notice probably through the video, a lot of the playfield control lights, they're LEDs, and there's a bit of flicker right now, and I'm waiting on the OCD LED boards that you can add in that take out a lot of the flicker and will smooth a lot of that out. And this game that it doesn't have a board that I'll apply for the GI circuits because this is a System 11 game and they just don't do that. You don't have the dimming effect that you would have on GI lights like you do on some of the later WPC games. But once I add in the playfield controlled LED lights, the OCD LED board, that will smooth it out, and that really will be kind of the official completion of phase one. They're just they're behind on production, and hopefully we'll have something here in a week or two. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just give you a quick overview of this. And phase two is all going to have to deal with the cabinet. I didn't really touch the cabinet much, other than I did replace the taxi topper for the game. But when I get to phase two, it's going to be pulling the playfield out, emptying everything out in the back box and inside the cabinet. The cabinet's going to get a repaint job, and then the decals on the sides here, I've actually already got those on hand. It's just this game's going to a show down in Cincinnati here in about a month. So if you happen to see this video before then and you're going to go to the show, you'll get this, come there and play it. So anyways, I'm going to give you an overview of everything you did. All right, so starting in the back box, let's just kind of go over stuff that I actually did do. So earlier in one of the earlier videos talking about the whole process that I went through on this, and one of the things that I did note when trying to start the game up the first time is that we had dead batteries there, and we had batteries leaking acid like that sometimes happens, and the acid leak was not terribly bad. There was a little bit of corrosion in that spot, and then some I think down here at the bottom, but fortunately it didn't damage any components. So what I ended up doing, at least for now, is I removed that battery holder, and I've just added in a couple wires, a connector here, and I've relocated a battery pack up there in the upper left. I might actually at some point swap out to an NVRAM if I can. I think I can. I've never actually done one, but for this game, and but for now, since I had it available, I just went ahead and located a battery pack on the side. And I did it up high because I'm probably going to be locating, well, I'm not sure. I might be locating the OCD LED board, maybe in that location over there. It might be down here in the bottom. I get the two confused. One of them is for GI, one of them is for the control lights, and on this System 11 game, it's only you only have the LED control lights. You don't have a GI. So, anyways, actually, let me turn the game on. Haven't even had it on yet. Add a little light to it. Let it boot up. So, anyways, I actually have not touched this power supply. I was intending on swapping out the caps, and I haven't done that yet. It's a little bit of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach. And with everything else that I've been doing and focusing on, that really I kind of forgot about it. Now, proactively, I probably I probably still will go in and swap those out because they're known, you know, over time they end up failing. So at this point in time, that was not touched. But as far as things that were worked on, let's go ahead and pull this score panel down and out of the way. All right, let's see if y'all can see this. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. There, that's better. Okay. So we had a few connectors that were in bad shape. So this GI was fried. This GI was fried. This is one I think I pointed out in another video how bad it got. I mean, it was charred. If I could, let's see, I should be able to point it out to you right here. Yeah, take a look at that. It's pretty bad. So I rebuilt it, and I did it a little differently. They had doubled up, trying to spread the load, I think, really. Little jumper wires going from, you know, this wire to the adjacent hole, this wire to the adjacent hole, and so forth. And instead of doing that, since I'm running LEDs, I just went with the single wire. And on the back of the board, I actually made sure that it would accept it that way. That I think I had to modify the back of the board where I tied those adjacent pins where they should be getting the same current or same wire going to them. I went ahead and just modified the back of the board. This connector, that was a new one, also had to be rebuilt. Let's see, I think I already mentioned that one. So yeah, that definitely had focus on it. The pop bumper, it was the upper left one. This transistor here was the one that ended up being a troublemaker. So I found that it had failed. It was a tip 122, I think is what it was, and I had some spares of those. Put a new one in and tried it a couple times, and then it locked on and it blew the transistor. So I think it may have just been a bad transistor that went in, because I took it out and I actually put in a TIP, instead of a 122, I put in a 102, which is, it's a stronger transistor. It'll carry more current. It's a very suitable replacement for the 122, as I have found out. So I don't know that I would ever really ever need to use a 122 anymore. The 120 was probably just more expensive back in the day, and it's negligible difference now, really. So that was replaced. Trying to think what else on the board that it was addressed. That may have been it. Yeah. So other than getting on here and changing out bulbs for the topper, and of course on the score panel. Let's put this back in place. There we go. These are the original score panels down here at the bottom. They're actually working fine. They are leaning forward. I need to get in there, maybe see if I can make that a little bit better. All right, let's close the door here, and I'll show you what I did here. Okay, so let's kind of stepping back, taking a look at it. Things sometimes come across strange on the camera, but I'll just sort of point it out for those that care. So all the bulbs that are here, every one of them, they're all from Comet Pinball. These are all 2 SMD warm white clear lens bayonet bulbs, as well as these that are flashing here real fast. This one here is it's just like the others, except this one's a frosted bulb. So it's I think I did that because of when I put the back glass up, there was something there that just seemed like it looked a little bit better with it frosted. These again are all the same, just like all of those. This green bulb is one of those OpMax Comet bulbs. It just throws out a lot more green, and I found that just putting in a standard green bulb, a standard green LED 2 SMD bulb, it wasn't really cutting it out. And I'm kind of chuckling because of some of the silly details that I spend effort on is ridiculous at times. But yeah, that's what that is. This is just a regular 2 SMD bulb. I did not put a yellow bulb in there because the yellow bulbs just are always, they're just dim. And even though when you put the back glass on, there's yellow art there, that just a nice white bulb that's bright will work better than actually having a yellow bulb there. And then that's just a regular red bulb that's at the top. So that's all there that's on the back box. Now let's, well, I guess I should point out too, yeah, I did put in a new topper, but that's gonna come off, and everything's gonna come off when I get to phase 2 of painting everything. All right, so now let's get down to the best part here, the play field. In fact, I'm gonna actually get this out and let's take a closer look. All right, so brand new, just about everything. This game, when I bought it, I thought, you know, hey, it's in pretty good shape. And as I dug in deeper, you know, just thinking a lot of it was gonna need cleaning. So dug in deeper, I ended up replacing a ton of stuff. So yeah, we ended up putting in brand new ramps. You know, I hated spending the money on it, but I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. The spin out, I think I mentioned earlier, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this blue. Turns out I really like the blue. And you know, the original is red. It's, you know, it's a personal preference thing. But I think the blue just works. It kind of balances out with the blue that's over here on the side and the blue in the back. So yeah, I like it. The pop bumpers, those are using the lights also from Comet, not the ring lights, but I forget what they call them, but now I've got another video that shows how those go in. So yeah, that all went fine. New plastic lanes. I did just use regular, yeah, those are those the warm or the cool white? I think I did put, yeah, I put actually cool clear lens 2 SMD bulbs back there. I did try blue bulbs and it was just, it was just a little too much. And looking in the video, it looks a lot more blue than it did in real life, but ultimately I decided, you know what, that's just kind of looking a little too color balmy, so I took it out. I put in, I think, some extra lights that are down underneath this ramp to kind of light that up a little bit more. I think I did one over on that other side too. Subtle little things. Of course, we've got, you know, the hard top and LEDs everywhere. They're all, like I've been saying in the back, those warm white clear 2 SMD bulbs is what I've predominantly used throughout the entire game. And as you notice, see how bad those flash. Let's see when it gets back. Yeah, right there. Once I get the OCD LED board in, just still been waiting on a backlog for that. But once it's in, that really should make a big difference. And I'll actually follow up with another video just to show the before and after with it. But as far as lighting is concerned, I did add a couple spotlights. Didn't add a whole lot of extra lights on this game like I sometimes do. I did add just a few in a couple places just to try to lighten things up. I did put a light down here in the trough. This is a warm white, and honestly, I may end up switching that out to either sunlight, or I might try a cool white, because even though I've got warm whites in every place else, there's just something about that light strip. It looks a little more yellow than the rest of the bulbs, so I don't know why. The bands, these are all the Titan silicone bands. I've been pretty pleased with using those. On just about every game, that's what I've used. I've used the poly bands from Marco. I actually like those quite a bit too. They're a little tighter though, which can make game maybe a little faster, but I don't know. I just seemed like these seem like a good, more natural fit. Seem to be more similar to actual rubber. Of course, the new flippers, all the mechanism of the flippers was all rebuilt. And actually, let's pop up the bottom. Let's take a look from there. Okay, so now looking underneath the playfield. So yeah, the flippers, this is completely new. I think the only thing that's not new is the metal bracket that's the base. I could have bought probably the entire flipper assembly. Looking back on it, that's probably what I should have done, and it would have already been assembled, and I think it would have probably worked out to be about the same price. Because I ended up having to go swap out both the coils. One of them was definitely bad, and I went ahead and just swapped out both. And again, when I redid these flipper mechanisms, I changed it to where instead of having that compression spring that you normally would have here, I just did this extension spring here on the side. I had to drill a hole, but the new rebuild kit, it already came with actually both springs, and just had to drill that hole and add that in. And it just works a little better instead of having it, you know, buckle on that spring. You don't have to worry about that. Also added in new bushings. They were shot. They were in bad shape. What else can we point out here on the back side? Oh yeah, well, yeah, both of the drop targets, moving super slow. Had to just take them apart and clean them really good is the main thing. Put new faces actually on the targets themselves. Didn't actually have to go replace any of the black plastic drop pieces themselves, but you know, took it apart, cleaned it, and you know, re-sleeved everything. All the coils have been, you know, they've got new sleeves on them. Just, you know, tweaking some things. Yeah, just all throughout, just trying to get it all cleaned up and working right. But oh yeah, the little things. So down here, the bell that was broken. I had to put in a new capacitor, and then it was detached. I suspect that maybe someone just didn't want to hear the bell. I'm not real crazy about it either, honestly. But there's a way you disable it in a setting. And in fact, when you disable it, it creates more sounds through, you know, through the speakers. So when something happens that it normally would be ringing the bell, the way the game was working, since it was trying to ring the bell and the bell was disconnected, where someone probably disconnected it before, the game would just go silent there for a little bit while it was trying to actually ring the bell. The flipper switches, flipper buttons. So this right here, let's see if I can get a closer look at this. So if you notice this, I don't know how many games do it this way. This is the first time I've seen it done this way. Let's actually look over here, this other side. So you've got your normal switch here that's, you know, for your flippers, but then you've also got this extra switch that's over here to the side, and that's used for lane change. But it's just kind of strange that they, instead of using just the same switch to you know, tell the game that you're hitting that button and then let it do lane change as well as you know, controlling the flippers, they actually have two physically different switches to handle that. So it turns out, I mean, you can see this switch has got like this really big end on it, and I don't think you can get that switch like that anymore. And the switch that was over on this side, it was broken, not working right. So I had to go get a new, just a regular switch. I didn't get one with that big end on it, but I didn't need to. It's working out, we're gonna find just like that. So anyways, of course, rebuilt the shooter rod, and I put in an actually quite a stronger spring on here. And the reason I did that is so that when you shoot the ball into that spin out, with just the standard spring, you'd pull it back. Like sometimes I couldn't even get it to go enough to where it would even make it all the way to the highest score. So now this, with that heavier spring, it really adds more of a skill to it, I think. But anyways, that's it. I'm gonna put the playfield back down, and we're gonna do a quick demo of the game. All right, so let's give it a go. Trying to go for Gorby. Oh. Okay, well, ball one is locked. Hey. ball under control. Multi-ball. This game has got a 2-ball multi-ball. It only has 2 balls in the game. Trying to get the joyride. There we go. Joyride. Let's see what we got. 10,000. Not that big of a deal. I know, Gorby. Trying to pick you up. Another joyride. Extra ball. I'll take it. Come on. At least I got an extra ball. Yeah, I'm playing awful. What I'm trying to do, for those who don't know, I'm trying to pick up all the passengers, so I need to get it into Gorby first. So to get that shot, you got to go shoot it around, and it will lock into that saucer back there. Then it will, at that point, it will light and lock up Gorbachev. Then the others will be available to collect those other passengers. Marilyn, you got to get her by knocking down all 3 of those drop targets. You got to do it within a certain amount of time. Pinbot, the same way, you got to knock those down. Dracula, if you come over here, you'll pick them up there. And then you got Santa Claus. The way to get Santa Claus is you just shoot it up here, and it's got to go right into that same saucer that you would normally, if you're going around this way, that's the same saucer that would be used to pick up Gorbachev. There's, oh, and by the way, whenever you drain the ball, you lose all your passengers, and you got to start all the way over, so it's real frustrating. Except, if you happen to hit this carry passengers button, which I'm going to cheat and hit, well, actually, it doesn't matter now since I don't have any passengers. But if you do that, then it will light up this carry passengers, so when you drain the ball, you don't lose your passengers. Once you get all your passengers, then it actually will light up the jackpot, and it lights it up for a certain amount of time. To get jackpot, you actually have to, you shoot it up this way, again, like just trying to shoot it into that saucer like you normally did for Gorbachev. And if you do that, then you win the big jackpot. So let's keep going. I only got a couple balls left here to go, so. All right, last one. Really playing terrible. The gameplay's great, but I'm playing awful today. All right. See, I'm doing my lane change. Okay. This raises the jackpot. I'm cheating. There. Go a little longer here. Oh. Anyways, you get the idea. There's Taxi. A lot of work, doing the hard top and everything, but I think it really turned out great. Like I said, I'll follow up with another quick video. This one turned out to be really long. So the next one I'll do, we'll just show the difference with what happens when you add in the OCD LED board and what it does to the light. So, all right, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to have this game at Cincinnati 2021 in just a matter of a few weeks. So if you're watching this and you're watching it before the show and are anywhere near Cincinnati, it's the weekend, I think December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something like that. It's the first weekend of December. So if you see this and you're up there, enjoy it. Thanks again. See you.